सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्.
We are in chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita and we have completed up to 52nd sloka. So from slokas number 50 up to 55, Paramatma is discussing Jnana Yoga. So this is all in capsule form, as you all know. Now, having completed the 52nd sloka, we will now proceed to sloka number 53. Ahankara balam darpam kamam krodam parigraham Vimuchya nirbamasyanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Ahankaram. Ahankara means the I and mind syndrome. Balam, the Shakti, which is accumulated due to status and money and other things. Darpam, the pride which a person exhibits because of money, because of knowledge, because of a lot of people around him. All this is called darpam. Kamam. Kamam is the desire which a person engages. Krodam. Krodam is the anger. Anger comes because, his wish is not fulfilled, or he might have got his wish fulfilled, but it vanishes in no time. Parigraham. Parigraham means accepting things from others. Vimutya. Vimutya means renouncing all these things. What are all the things he has renounced? A jnani renounces ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, parigraham. 6 things. Nirmamaha, without having this I and mind syndrome. That means this kind of attachment towards my people. This is mine. This kind of mama feeling is not there. This belongs to me. These are my people. This kind of mamata is not there. Shantaha. Shantaha means is always at peace. Is always in tranquil mode. So such a sadhaka, Brahma Bhuyaya, so he is always rebelling with that Sachidananda Paramatma. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So he is one with Brahman, one with that absolute reality. Ahankaram, balam darpam, kamam krodam parigraham cha, vimuchya. Nirmamaha santaha naraha brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So, these are the 6 qualities a jnani renounces. So, what are the 6 qualities? Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam and krodam. And he is beyond mamata and anurag. These people are mine and this is my property. All these kinds of mamata is not there. That mama feeling, aham mama feeling. Shantiyutaha. Shantiyutaha means he is always at peace, he is in tranquil mode. So such a person is always reveling with the Chaitanya Tattvam. So he is no more different from that Paramatma. So Sachidananda Paramatma, he realizes and he becomes one with that absolute reality. So while doing Nididhyasana, there may be umpteen kinds of emotions that surrounds you, that really troubles you. So, the reason for this, if you analyze, because of the Asuri Sampati which you have not eliminated. Krishna Paramatma discussed about the Asuri Sampatti in 16th chapter. And he also gave a solution how to come out of this. So in a technical jargon, you have to have Durvasana Kshayam. So that means all the unhealthy pattern of thinking, you must avoid. So if you entertain unhealthy thinking, it will not allow your mind to have the peaceful and tranquil mind. It is like weed in the field. So we have to remove the weed so that the crop will grow healthy. So in a garden called mind, these weeds are there. So you have to pluck them, and you have to see that they are free of weed. So here Paramatma is only mentioning few of them, though in that 16th chapter and 13th chapter he talked many. Here he said ahankaram. Ahankaram means attachment or feeling or attachment towards anatma. Attachment towards the body. Attachment towards the mind. Attachment towards the body-mind sense complex. So a Vedantin should not have any kind of attachment towards anything. So he must keep on saying to himself, he must repeat to himself. So this body is made up of Panchabhutas. So this is only given temporarily in order to learn Vedanta. So this is not to enjoy. This is not to forget the reality. So all these Panchabhutas, after some time when the prarabdha is over, he has to give back. So with this clarity, with this clear mind, he should live meticulously and spend every minute in the Tattva Chintana. So if you wear or if you have vibhuti on the forehead, that means the vibhuti represents this body is going to be burnt after death. This is the symbol of vibhuti. Vibhuti is an ash. So this ash is a symbolic representation that this body is a perishable one. This will fall one day and they will burn this. And it will, burn to ashes. That is the representation which we are having in vibhuti. So in order to remind all of us about this ultimate stage, we have that vibhuti. So we can avoid deha abhimana, the attachment towards the deham, which is otherwise called ahankaram. Then balam. Balam means shakti. In any organization, if you are working, then you have a lot of, supposing you have a lot of status and position and all that, then naturally you throw your weight around. As the family grows big, then we have that position of elderly person. So people respect you. And immediately you think that everybody should consult you and take your suggestion and they follow it meticulously. Not necessarily. Even though you become 85 or 90, you feel everybody should throng around you and they should be servile to you and they should take your permission to do anything and take your suggestions. So this kind of feeling you get because of the Shakti you had in the earlier stage. You want to show your presence. This is all called Balam. Then Darpam. Darpam is the pride. If you achieve certain things, if you get some awards, without your knowledge, unknowingly, you get this kind of pride. Especially when a person is self-made man, he gets this very quickly. This is a very dangerous symptom. He says, because of my self-effort, I have come to this position. I came up the ladder. From the very bottommost stage, I could become a billionaire today because by dint of my labor. He always expresses this kind of pride feeling. Then kamam. Kamam means mundane desires. How many desires a person will have? Endless desires. If one desire is fulfilled, then 100 desires will prop up. So there is no end to complete all the desires. You may think if I complete or if I finish or if I fulfill this desire, that's it. That is the end of my life. No. Once you fulfill a desire, immediately 10 desires will be standing behind that. And it will create an unpleasant and unhappy situation for you. Krodham. Krodham means wherever this kamam, wherever this desire is there, krodham is there. Because as you want to see that all your wishes are fulfilled, more severe the desires are, more krodham you have. Because it is very rare that you can fulfill all your desires. So if you cannot fulfill all your desires, you feel that somebody is stopping you. There are some obstacles. You get irritated and you get anger for nothing. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudbhava. So this is what Paramatma already mentioned in chapter 3, sloka 37. Parigraham. Parigraham means we have lot of property. So Vedanta always gives value for this rule. So as you have more possessions, more property, more status and all that, your mind will be shattered more. Aparigraham. Aparigraham means very simple life. So parigraham means possessions, the property. So this is what we have to understand. So if you follow aparigraham, that means simple life. If you feel that if you want to come to the spiritual life, then you should be as simple as possible. And you should try to reduce the burden of having too many properties and too many dresses, too many things, too many avocations. All these things you have to reduce. Then that means you are having this sannyasam. Sannyasam means you have that kind of renunciation in the mind, antara sannyasam. You need not wear akarobes. Nirmamaha. Nirmamaha means not having mamakara. Strong attachment towards the body is called abhimana. And the strong attachment towards the articles and different vastus like house and vehicles and all these things are called mamakara. So if you are free from abhimana and mamakara, abhimana means having attachment to your body, mind, sense complex. Mamakara is having attachment to your allied things. That is your people, your articles, your property, your vehicles and so on. That is called mamakara. If you are free from ahankara and mamakara, it is called nirmamaha. Aparigraham and nirmamaha, there is a subtle difference. Aparigraham means to reduce the possessions you have. Certain things you have to have minimum bare things you should have. Even a sannyasi need to have certain things. The remaining things, you should not have any kind of mamakara. Then it is called nirmamaha. So reducing the possessions is called nirmamaha. Then vimuchya santaha. So if you renounce all these things, the above 6 things, then automatically you can have the tranquil mind. Your mind is at peace. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So such a sadhaka who can renounce all the above six things, then he is Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. He gets the qualification to get united with Brahma. The six things are Ahankaram, Balam, Darpam, then we have Kamam, Krodham and Parigraha. So, Nirmamaha. Nirmamaha means if he is free from Mamakara. Vimuchya, 7 things are there. So, including Nirmamaha, 7 things are there. If he is free from all the 7 things, then he is Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. He becomes one with Brahma. He gets that qualification. So, all these things and all these days, he thought that he is the body, mind, sense complex. He thought the changing I is my reality. He said that he is the Karyakarana Sanghatam. And he said that he is mortal. Now he got the knowledge from a Brahmanishta Guru. Then he slowly disconnected with his Anatma Bhavam. He disconnected with the body, mind, sense complex. Now he owns up that higher nature, that is Atma. So that higher I, which is Chaitanya Tattvam, is my reality. This is what he dwells now. So whenever we talk about the Chaitanya, so we have to immediately remember about the 5 Lakshanas. We often reiterate. The Chaitanyam is not a part, product and property of the body. Instead of consciousness or Chaitanyam, you can replace that with I. So, my real I is not a part, property or product of this body. Then, the real I is an independent entity which pervades this entire body and enlivens this body. The real I is not bounded by this body. It is beyond the body also, because the real I is Atma or the Chaitanya Tattvam or the consciousness. So real I will not perish. Even after the fall of the body, the real I continues. That means the Chaitanya Tattvam continues, Atma continues. The real I will continue even if the body is not there. So it is not seen if the body is not there, because it is not felt or seen, because there is no medium to reflect it. That doesn't mean the real I is not there. So these 5 fundamental principles one must digest very deeply. So whenever you have some kind of problem, immediately it must surface. It must come to your risk. So it must become the second swabhava for you. If somebody says, you need not tell this to people, it should be only internal. It is something like the tambura sruti. So it should always keep on repeating in your mind. You are Brahma. That means Aham Brahma Asmi. As long as you are with that kind of knowledge, when you are with Chaitanya Tattvam, you can easily understand how you are Brahma. So, coming out of the Sharira Abhimana becomes a very natural process. You can get attached to Chaitanya. That is also a natural process. So, you can very freely, you can say Aham Brahma Asmi. Who is saying all this? Sakshat Krishna Paramatma. Directly, he is promising you. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate means sadhaka becomes one with Brahma. One with Brahma means you should not literally take this sentence. He will not come slowly towards Brahma and becomes one. That is not the meaning. The meaning is he understands clearly, a doubtless knowledge he will have that he is Brahma. Bhuyaya means bhavana. He will be in the Brahma bhavana. So Brahma Aikya bhavana. In Nididhyasanam alone, he can imbibe the knowledge that is acquired in the Shravanam. Sravana Balam will give you a kind of strength, will give you a kind of natural feeling that you are Brahma. So, if you want to really enjoy Jnana Phalam, you have to do Nididhyasana. That means you have to relive with the teaching. That means whenever the possibility is there, you have to understand I am Atma, Aham Atma Asmi, Aham Brahma Asmi. Like that you have to reinstate, you have to own up that you are Atma. So now the next question is, how many minutes I have to do this kind of Nididhyasana? Is there any crash course? This is the first question people will get. So Nididhyasana is not just a few minutes or few hours or few days. It is throughout your life. Because over so many years, over so many janmas, you nourish the idea that you are the body, mind, sense complex. In order to come out of this viparyaya bhavana, it is not a one-day affair. You have, entertained this kind of feeling for so many years. So you need to undo this idea. So whenever the possibility, wherever it is possible, you keep on doing the Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana means to relive the classroom teaching. So we will proceed to sloka number 54. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kanchati samas sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param na kanchati. He will not aspire, he will not seek anything. Sarva bhuteshu, so among all living beings. Samaha param madbhaktim labhate. So he will be always having equality and equanimity on all living beings. So he will not have any kind of dvesha. He will not show the difference between two things. That samabhavam he will entertain. So Brahma bhutaha. So he is always reveling in Sachidananda Paramatma. He unites with that Sachidananda Brahma. Prasannatma. Prasannatma means he is having the tranquil mind. So in that state, there is no sorrow for him. Na sochati. He will not have any sorrow. Does it mean that he is free from difficulties, free from all odd situations? No. In spite of hurdles, he is having that tranquil mind. That is what the Shastra is promising. Brahma bhutaha prasannatma san na sochati na kanshati cha sarva bhuteshu samaha bhutva param mat bhaktim labhate. So Sachidananda Brahma, Jnani totally immersed in Sachidananda Brahma. He becomes one with Sachidananda Brahma. So such a Jnani is having tranquil mind. Prasanna Atma. He is not having any kind of agitation in the mind. And he will not have sorrow. He is always happy. Because he doesn't aspire anything. He doesn't desire anything. On all living beings, he is having equality and equanimity. So this way, Nididhyasanam, we should understand, recall all Sthita Prajna Lakshanas and Chaitanya Lakshanas. Like that, whatever is taught in the classroom, all those things you have to remember. So he will be in the Jnana Nishtha. When a person is in the Jnana Nishtha, such a person is called Sthita Prajna. He is in Atma Nishtha or Brahma Nishtha. And such a state is called Jivan Mukti. So this should be very, very natural. It should not be any kind of effort. Beginning he did it with some kind of effort. over a period of time it becomes a natural course of action. For whose this jnana nishta is a natural process. He need not, make any effort. It becomes a very, very natural process. Quite natural that he is in the Atmanishta. Then such person is called the Jivan Mukta. So, he will not have any problem. He is always at peace. Mentally, he will not be disturbed. Though physically, there are some problems. Maybe his health is not good, or he is having some problems, some kind of financial problem, some kind of family problems. Whatever may be the problems, but his mind is always at peace. So that state is called Jivan Mukta state. And the person is called Jivan Mukta. Prasannatma. Prasannatma means this is the first and foremost symptom to indicate that this person is Jivan Mukta. So, his mind is always like an ocean of peace, a peaceful ocean. So, this is the symbol that he is enjoying the Jivan Mukti. Then what is samsara? Samsara means quite opposite to this. His mind is always agitated. It is always under tenterhooks. It is under pressure. It is continuously kept on some kind of agitation. The understanding is, with reference to mind, if the mind is a tranquil state all through, that means he is in moksha state. He is having moksha while living. That is, he is having Jivan Mukti. Na sochati. Na sochati means the person who is having Jivan Mukti, his mind takes everything very light. He will not get agitated. He will not be, having sorrow. So, does it mean that he is a kind of a rough person whose mind is not sentimental? He is not like that. He is, a good thinker. He will not brood, why me? Why it is not happening? Why it is not happening to others? Why only me? I did not do any harm to others. This kind of brooding he will not have. He will have atmastairyam to face any situation. So from what to so what he can, transform very quickly. So this is called the Jivan Mukti qualification. So we have said that there is a big businessman. He is having a lot of factories, and then suddenly somebody rang up and said, sir, your factory at so-and-so place got burnt, and it is totally turned into ashes. Then for a moment he said, what? Immediately after a few minutes, he said, so what? So that kind of state, one must achieve. If one achieves this kind of state, it is called Jivan Mukti. It doesn't mean he is, irresponsible. He is responsible. He can take remedial actions. He can address the situation. But that mental agitation is not there. Mentally, he is very stable. Mentally, he is very, peaceful in spite of the problems. That's what we have to understand. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Asocha Nanvasochastvam Prajnavadan Sebashase Gatasun Agatasoscha Damnasochanti Panditaha. So, one who is in the Jnana Nishta, person who is in the Jnana Nishta will not brood for things which need not be brooded over. He will not feel sorrow for things which he need not feel sorrow. Because there is nothing in this world for which you have to feel sorrow. Everything is fleeting. everything is midya. When you are totally immersed with Atma Tattvam, there's nothing that you can feel sorrow about. Na kanshati. Na kanshati means this Jivan Mukta has got another qualification. What is that? So in his life, he will not aspire anything. So why he will not aspire? Because he is having that Purnatva Bhavana. There is no inadequacy in him. Atmanyev Atmana Tushtaha Sthita Prajnastadochyate. He will not have the binding desires. Even if he is having desires, those desires are for the benefit of the society at large. His desires are not for getting Purnatvam. So he desires with Purnatvam. So after achieving this Purnatvam, he wants to do some social service. He wants to do good to the people at large. So this is the thing. Even if it is successful, he will not feel so happy and paint the city red. Even if it fails, he will not brood. That is the state of mind he has. So this is what we have. So if you have the desire and the desire is not fulfilled, if you feel so sorrow, that is called samsara. The feeling of getting things from the society is called as samsara. The feeling of giving things is called moksha. So a person, a jnani, is more a giver than a taker. He gives more than he takes. So this is what we have to understand. Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. So is equal in every aspect. So he is having that equality and equanimity. He looks at the entire Srishti with Ishvara Srishti. He will not change it as Jiva Srishti, because he doesn't see with the goggles Raghava and Dvesha. I like this, I don't like this. This kind of feeling he doesn't have. So the samatvam we have seen in many slokas earlier, if you recall. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunicheva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarsinaha Samadukka Sukaswastaha Samalostasma Kanchanaha Tulya Priya Priyodiraha Tulya Nindatma Samstutihi Suhrud Mitra. So all these slokas, they point out to one thing, Sarveshu Bhuteshu Samaha. Or it culminates to one simple thing, equality and equanimity on everything. So Jnani achieves it at once. Artho Jijñasurartharthi Jnani Icha Bharatarsha. The bhakti is not different from Jnanam. Jnanam is the ultimate form of bhakti. The bhakti at climax is jnana. So this is what we have to understand. So param bhakti labhate. So he will show the most qualitative bhakti, that para bhakti. Param mad bhaktim labhate. So he will have that ultimate bhakti towards me. So by studying Gita, there should be a change in a person. So he should be at peace, the sorrow should reduce, desires must reduce, and he should look at this entire world without ragam and dvesham. So if you achieve all these five, that means you have achieved that param madbhaktim labhate. Swamiji often talks about FIR test, the frequency, intensity and recovery period. F talks about the frequency, how frequently you are disturbed. And intensity talks about to what intensity you get this disturbance. Recovery period is R, how quickly you can come back to normalcy. So you have to do this FIR test and see that you are a jnani or not. The frequency must be less, intensity must be less, recovery period must be very small. So, we have seen in the beginning, Sidanti mamagatrani mukhancha parisushyati. Arjuna said that, his mouth is getting dried up, so he is not in a position to do the war. So, this kind of emotional outburst is not a representation of jnani. So, how quickly you can come back to normalcy after you get the anger, that is a very important thing. One must see. We will proceed to sloka number 55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyascha tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva visate tadanantaram. Bhaktya, with that very parabhakti. So, that Brahma Bhuta yogi, one who is in the, the absolute parabhakti. Mam means that Paramatma. Aham means higher self. Yaha, whoever, cha, moreover, yavan asmi, whoever is having that power, tattvataha. So, with that feeling of tattvam, abhijanati, who knows, tataha, thereafter, mam, tattvataha, in fact, jnatva means knowing, tadanantaram means immediately, vishate, he becomes one with me. Yavan yahacha asmi, tam mam tattvataha bhaktya abhijanati, tataha tattvataha mam jnatva, tat anantaram mam vishate. So that jnani who understands me, my higher reality, so who can know my real nature, so that very jnani becomes one with me. So this is what Paramatma is saying. So we have the word-to-word meaning. Mam means the Paramatma, who is the higher reality. Aham, my higher self. Yaha, whoever. Cha, yavanasmi, whoever understands me in my reality, in the tattva style. Abhijanati, whoever knows. Tataha, thereafter. Mam tattvataha jnatva, having understood my reality by Sravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. Tadanantaram, immediately after that, Vishate, he becomes one with me. One with me is not to be taken literally, as I often alert you. So, this yogi or this jnani who is having the total knowledge of Paramatma, the higher self, that is, Paramatma is nothing but the Chaitanya Tattva. So, he is not having any guna, he is not having any rupa. This kind of Chaitanya Tattvam, which is the Paramatma's ultimate form. So, whoever understands this Tattvam, so immediately he becomes one with me. He understands that his very nature is also that Chaitanya Tattva. So, the Jnana Phalam will not get immediately. Jnanam people can understand. One can understand how an individual becomes Brahma and all that. Academic knowledge one can acquire. But Jnana Phalam, what is the Jnana Phalam? Once you understand that you are Brahma, that you are that ultimate Chaitanya Tattvam, you must not have any kind of difficulty. That mental peace you must achieve. You should know that you are peace, happiness and security. You should understand that peace, happiness, security is not outside. It is very much inside. That is your reality. You should have that without any doubt. The doubtless knowledge you should have. And you should have that whenever you are having that FIR test, then you will see that there are certain people who acquire this knowledge. There are Brahmavit Varaha, Brahmavit Variyan, Brahmavit Varishta. Like that you can categorize those people who acquired jnana. Though people acquired knowledge, they may not be having that Jivan Mukti. Brahmavit may be having 20% of Jivan Mukti. Brahmavit Varaha may be having 40% of Jivan Mukti. That means there are certain elements which makes him more towards mundane things. Variyan may be 60% Jivan Mukti. Varishtaha may be 80%. So this is what you get by Nididhyasana. The more you do Nididhyasanam, you become Brahma Varishta. The 20% leverage will be there. 100% one cannot become, because 100% if he becomes, he will be totally cut off from the world, which may not be a fact. So the mind always hovers between the Paramarthika Satyam and the empirical Satyam. That is the Vyavhara Satyam. So in spite of being in the labyrinth of the Vyavhara Satyam, if he is connected with that Paramarthika Satyam 24/7, so that means he is Brahmavit Varishta. He is the Jivan Mukta. Bhaktya means by doing Nididhyasanam. Here the Bhakti means Nididhyasana Rupa Bhakti, the Parakashta, Bhakti Parakashta. So in the 12th chapter, we have seen that 5 stages of Bhakti. So Karma Yogam, Upasana Yogam, Jnana Yogam. This is what we call Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yogam is having 3 components: Karma Yogam, Upasana Yogam, Jnana Yogam. So the Vedanta Sravanam is also called Bhakti. That is called Jnana Yajna. Chinmayananda Swamiji titled this as Jnana Yajna. So this is also a kind of yajna. So in this, the Agni called Jnanagni is kindled. Ahutis, that is oblations, are nothing but ajnana for this Agni. Ahankaram is an oblation. So different kinds of misconcepts are oblations. So these oblations, when you offer to Jnanagni, you get totally cleansed. That is why Jnanam is also a kind of bhakti. Upasana is a kind of bhakti. Nididhyasanam is also a kind of bhakti. So, Swaswarupanusandanam bhaktihi iti abhidiyate. So, you have to realize your own reality. That is called the bhakti. Mam abhijanati. So, one who understands, one who is in the Ishvara Nishtha, he is the one who understands me clearly. So, if he internalizes that jnana, abhi means that very jnanam, if he converts into a nishtha, that means if he internalizes that knowledge about whom? Mam. Mam means about that Ishvara, who is Nirguna Ishvara. Saguna Ishvara Rupam is Apara Prakriti, Nirgunam is Para Prakriti. So we are talking about this Para Prakriti. So Nirguna Brahma means Gunatita. Saguna Brahma is one who, gets this puja and other things. So that Saguna Ishvara, we have a lot of adjectives. Sarvajnatvam, Sarvakaranatvam, Sarvasrushti-karanatvam, Sarvapujyatvam, all these things. Evan means all Saguna Swarupam. Tattvataha. Tattvataha means if you understand that Saguna Swarupa is actually the Nirguna Swarupa manifestation. The Nirguna Swarupa Chaitanyam is manifested as Saguna Isvara. Tattva means Paramadhika Swarupam or Chaitanya Swarupam. So this way, in Nididhyasanam, we can digest the reality of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan has got two kinds of Swarupa. At Vyavahara level, Bhagavan and the Bhakta are two different entities. Bhagavan is a Samashti, Bhakta is Vyashti. So if you come to Paramarthika level, there is no difference. In Paramarthika level, there is only one thing. That one thing is called Chaitanyam. It is also called Atma. It is also called Paramatma. So there is no Vyashti, there is no Samashti. Chaitanyam alone is there. That Nirguna Chaitanyam iti abhijanat. So you should understand that alone is there. Tato mam tattvato jnatva. So may you understand the reality, the Nirguna Brahma, very clear. So that's why in 7th chapter, Para Bhakti, Para Prakruti, Jnanam is called Vijnanam. Apara Prakruti Jnanam is called simply Jnanam. So why Para Prakruti is superior to Apara Prakruti? Nirguna Jnanam is superior to Saguna Jnanam. Because unless you ascend to that level, Desakala Atita state, so you cannot understand this. So if you understand this Nirguna Tattvam, Mrityorma Amrutangamaya, so he will have that Amrutatvam. Amrutatvam is possible only in Nirgunatvam. So in Sagunatvam there is no Amrutatvam. Saguna means a relative. A relative thing will have the Kala Paramiti and Desa Paramiti. Is bounded by time, bounded by space. So Para Prakriti is ultimate, superior to Apara Prakriti. Tato mam tattvato jnatva. So thereafter, if he understands me in a tattva manner, so mam vishate, so he enters me, he becomes one with me. So here this word enters me, becomes one with me should not be taken understood. He has a clear understanding, ahameva saha, saha eva aham asmi. So I am that Brahma is myself. This is what we call Aikyam. So Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam means the difference between Jivatma and Paramatma, born out of Ajnanam, born out of ignorance, is entirely removed. Now there is no ignorance. So if the ignorance is not there, then that separation is not there. Bhagavan is different, Jiva is different, that kind of ignorance is no more persisting. So this avoidance of ignorance is called Aikyam. So it is not a physical journey, like a train journey and a flight journey and all. No. So you should clearly understand that a jnani enjoys this Jivatma Aikya Bhavana at every stage, and that makes him a Jivan Mukta. And he enjoys that Jivan Mukti, and while he is living, at the fag end of the life, he can become Videha Mukta. With this, we have completed today's class. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.